Hello, everyone. Today is Wednesday, September 2nd, and I just truly can't believe we are already into September. It's been a long journey with COVID, but the Zoom classes have been going great, and we're happy to have you here. So today we'll start class. Thank you for joining me. We're going to review what we worked on the past 2 weeks with Embrace the Tiger, Return to the Mountain, and then we're going to move on to Fist Under Elbow. So let's start in cross hands. Feet shoulders distance apart. Crossing the arms, right arm on the outside, sinking down, relaxing the waist and lifting the head. Moving to Embrace the Tiger, Return to the Mountain. Shifting your weight and turning. Open up the arms, stepping out, and showing Embrace the Tiger. Roll back. Press. And push. Okay. Let's do it a couple more times, get the body warmed up a little bit, and then we'll see if anyone has any questions on these movements. Each time, let's try to focus on one of the principles. So this time, as we move through these two movements, focus on lifting up the head, or maybe relaxing the shoulders down. Starting in cross hands, moving the weight, and turning the left foot and body. Separate the arms, making 2 circles and stepping out. Open up and show striking. Moving into roll back, connecting out and turning. Press, touching the forearm and pressing outwards. Open up the arms for push, moving back and pushing out. Great. All right, one more time, just getting warmed up a little bit. All right, this time pick a different principle. So maybe you want to work on relaxing the waist, or maybe we want to move continuously without interruption. So crossing the arms, sinking down, shifting the weight to the right, turning, open up the arms, 2 circles, stepping out, opening up and striking with the left palm. Moving into roll back, connecting out and turning. Moving into press, touching the forearm, expanding outwards. Separate the arms, moving into press, pulling back, pushing out. Great. All right, now that you've had me to do it 3 times, let's do it on your own. Test your memory. I will give the same cues. I just want to see how everyone's doing on this. So starting in cross hands, right arm on the outside, sinking down, shifting the weight, turning, open up the arms, circling, stepping out, and striking. Roll back, connecting out, moving back and turning. Press, small circle, connect and press out. Open up the arms for push, moving back and pushing out. Great. Okay, let's work on a couple little details before we move on here. So we always want to make sure that our shoulders and elbows are down. We don't want to make sure that our arms are too high. As soon as our arms are a little high, you're going to notice that the shoulder comes up. So we always want shoulders down, elbows down. So when we're doing Embrace the Tiger, we're in the back position here. We draw the palm into the shoulder here. Still, shoulder and elbow down. And when we're striking, same thing. Shoulder and elbow down. We don't want to be up too high. Nice and relaxed, about 1 line from the shoulder to the wrist, but there is a bend in the arm that creates that. Does that make sense? Everyone, so we do push, That looks good. So every time we want that shoulder and elbow sinking down. All right, so let's start in the back position here. I'm going to come close so you can see the arms. So we're looking to the left palm direction. The right fingertips point to the left forearm position. We're all the way back in our left leg. We're going to open up just like brush knee, although the meaning's different. Palms sitting in front. Elbows slightly open. We don't want to compress and close the arm, but we want a little bit of space there. And then show striking. Good. That looks great. Okay, so on the same note, let's talk about push. So when we're starting from press and our left palm is on our right forearm, we open up the arms and turn our body to square. Palms are sitting flat down. We're going to pull back, and they're going to stay relatively flat until you almost roll around a ball and sink down in front of the chest. So we want to make sure we really get that movement here. Open up, flattening the arms, pulling back, and then sitting down right at the end, and then pushing out. And the same thing here, not too high, not too low, that perfect in between. And as you practice more, you'll feel the difference, and you'll kind of hone in on that space. Does anyone have any questions? How does that feel? All right, so any questions from cross hands through embrace the tiger all the way to push? Any footwork or hand movements?
Yes, I have one question, Marion, here. How do you, could you just review the circle as you bring your hand in before the press? I feel like I'm losing the shape of the circle a little bit.
That actually looked really good, Marion. So when we're in roll back, you have a small circle out with the right arm. So we don't just turn it and bring it in. Can you see the difference there if I just turn it like this?
Right.
And go from here to here, or if I come out and it's a little circle and the body turns to the side.
Okay.
So we're in roll back, little circle, and then the palm touches. So everything emanates from the waist, right? Well, actually, it starts in the feet, travels through the waist, up through the arms and fingers. So we want to use our waist turning here. So turning the waist, connect.
Okay.
One more time. Let's see.
Wait.
So roll back,
okay.
Left palm facing up. Yep.
Like that. So
That looks good. It doesn't have to be so big. It's a small circle. So we don't have to make a big circle. It's a small circle.
Okay.
But it's not just turning. It's a small circle connecting to the palm, to the forearm.
Yeah, I think
Nice.
I think I get a little confused about the size of it. And then I feel like if I'm doing it big, it looks kind of clumsy. And then if I do it too small, I think, did I do it? But okay, I'll work on that. So it looks like
You'll find the fine line.
Yeah, it looks like your like yours is smaller, but it's definitely circular. And I know it's supposed to be a circle. I just wasn't sure if I was doing it right. So thank you.
We don't necessarily need to make a big circle to make it a circle.
Right.
And if we're doing martial arts movements, we're not going to make these big swooping movements. They're going to be more contained because our opponent's going to be closer to us. So with the meaning of these two movements, it's if you had someone's wrist with your left hand and you had their elbow on your forearm. And we've trying to say break or control the arm from this point. But if they bend, if their arm's like this, and then they bend and neutralize it, this is our way to change movements and react. So we're pressing on their elbow and they bend and we turn and stay connected to them and then press them out. So these movements are all connected. So we're here and we tried to control their arm and they bent their arm. So this is no longer working. This is just limp. The arm's limp. So we turn and then press out.
And you were actually turning your hips into that move as well as your waist, it looks like. Okay.
Yes, the waist movement is very important.
Okay. All right. Thank
And
you.
are you pressing out over your right leg?
It's just like when we're in ward off right. Our elbow is over our knee.
Okay.
It's the same thing. So I'm not moving past. See how I'm past that plane there?
Right.
So this would be, I'm too far with the lean. Can you see how my spine is, I'm leaning too far? We want to have one line from the heel all the way up. Elbows over the knee, but not too far. We're not sitting upright. Perfect balance.
Okay.
And again, this is something as you practice, you'll kind of hone in. And maybe you'll start to go too far, and then you'll go back too much, and then you'll kind of keep going back and forth till you find that perfect angle. Does that make sense, Michelle?
Yeah, it does. Because you always, they say then square up. So after you press over your right leg, then when you square up, do you mean you're going, your right arm then is just over your right leg?
Okay, so what we're talking about with the squaring up is when we're doing press, our body is not to the straight direction. Our body is open to the side. So my shoulders are pointed kind of towards the corner direction. I'm not square. I'm not too open to the corner. It's a balance. So when we're squaring up the shoulders here. As we open up the arms, I'm open to the corner and then I'm squaring up. My shoulders are now to the straight direction. And then as I continue the push movement, I'm still to the straight direction.
Okay, it was the transition from press to push. Push to press.
Yes.
Pull to press. What?
Press to push. Press to push. So in press, we're open and then we square up for push and go forward.
I'll leave it at that. Thanks.
You're welcome. Anyone else? All right, let's do it one more time and then we're gonna move on to fist under elbow. So from cross hands, moving the weight, turning, separate the arms, 2 circles, stepping out, open up, and show striking with the left palm. Roll back, connecting out and turning. Circling in for press. Squaring up for push. And stop. Great. Okay, let's talk about just the footwork first, because the footwork here is very similar to single whip and sometimes can be a bit of a challenge. So I'm gonna do it to what's the normal direction that you see, and then we can switch directions if that makes it easier. So I'm in my push position. I'm in a bow stance that's slightly off of corner direction. You're gonna move the weight back into the left leg, then turning the right toes as far as you can. We're trying to get them to the straight direction, just like single whip. We're gonna relax, we're gonna move back our weight and then relax the left foot. We're gonna pick up for a transition step. Stepping out and we move the weight forward for transition. And then there's 2 more steps after that. So let's just work on that beginning transition with our footwork of moving our weight and being able to turn our foot 180 degrees almost. So starting in a natural stance, sinking our weight into our left leg, stepping out, moving the weight forward, making a nice bow stance. Pushing back, moving the weight into the left leg, turn the right toes all the way to 12 o'clock. Move the weight back into the right leg, relax the left foot, and we're gonna step out. It's 1 line to side, corner direction, move the weight forward. From here, we pick up the right foot and we step parallel to our left foot. So we're on train tracks going to the same direction. Move the weight back, Pivot on the toes. Pick up for an empty stance on the heel. All right, let's do this a couple of times. Can be a little bit of a challenge. So again, natural bow stance. So our foot's almost in the straight direction, sinking down, stepping out, moving the weight forward. We're going to shift our weight back just like single whip, turning the right foot all the way to your 12 o'clock direction. Shift the weight back, relax the left toes. Pick up, step out to the corner direction, move weight forward like a bow stance, but it is a transition because we're going to immediately pick up the right foot for 2 train tracks towards the corner direction. Move the weight back to the right leg, relax on the toes, and change to the heel, moving weight into the left leg. All right, does anyone have any questions about the footwork before we move on to the hand movements? Okay. Let's add the hands. So we're starting in push, and we're going to go through very specific stop points here, okay? Starting in push, again, natural stance. Just like single whip, move the weight back and flatten your arms. Show pulling with the left arm. Waist starts turning. Right arm follows as the toes turn all the way to 12 o'clock. Shift the weight back, fingertips point together about chest level, and then we show pushing out to the side as we relax the foot. All right, let's do that again. All right, so I'm going to face the other direction now so you can see it from this direction. From push, move back the weight and flatten your arms. Show pulling with the left arm, turning the body and the toes to 12 o'clock. Move back the weight, arms continue, circle in till they're in front of the chest. And then we show pushing out to the side as we relax the foot, the left foot on the toes. Here, the fingertips point to the forearm center. Right palm is sitting up. All right, let's have everyone just do that, and I'm going to see how this goes. So starting from push, I'll show you the arm movements. Move back the weight, flatten out the arms. Show pulling with the left arm, right arm follows, circle in. Fingertips come to the chest, and then pushing out to the side. Remember here, relax the shoulders and elbows down. Right palm sitting up. Left fingertips point to the right forearm center, so the palm is turned up ever so slightly. That looks good. Remember, space in the arms here. We always want to have the arms open. We don't want to let everything collapse. We're doing a large frame here. So remember, space in the arms. Nice. All right, let's do it again, and then we're going to add the ward off, okay? So I'm just going to show you the next little bit. From here, we've pushed out to the side. We're looking this direction. We're going to step out, and we're going to show warding off with the left arm, looking to the left direction, following this because we're connecting out with our opponent. Our right arm doesn't change very much. When we step, we're going to rotate the palm, showing grabbing. Then we're going to circle down, making a fist. And here's this little circle at the bottom here as we show punching. Okay, so again, arms come out, ward off, show grabbing, circle down, making a fist, pushing up and punching at the same time. Nice. So we call this move fist under elbow, and our fist is under our elbow, but it's not directly under our elbow. There's space there. Can you see the difference from here to here? We want to have that back rounded, but we don't want to over round. We want to relax the shoulders down. Nice. Okay, let's try it a couple of times. So here, again, stepping out in a natural stance, sinking down, stepping out, and going into push. Move back the weight, flatten your arms. Show pulling with the left arm, and then the whole body turns and rotates as the arms circle, moving back, weights moving, fingertips point together. Then pushing out to the side as we relax the left foot. We're gonna step out, one line to side, show ward off. Turning palm over to show grabbing, stepping parallel, circling down, making a fist, left arm going up, right arm coming in to show punching. All right, one more time. And this time, try to think if there's any questions you have about these movements. Maybe there's a little detail that we're missing, but try to not look at the screen and just kind of hear my voice and follow through the movements here. So move back the weight, flatten the arms, show pulling with the left arm, turning the body, fingertips point to the center, and then arms push out to the side as we relax the foot. Stepping out, showing ward off, showing grabbing as we re-step, relax the foot, arm circles down and up, showing punching, moving into our empty stance. All right, so here we want palm comes up. So what's going on here is an opponent's connecting with our arm. We're gonna connect. Remember, one of the first things I was talking about was the connection, so we know what our opponent is gonna do. So we connect out first, and then we show grabbing. After the grabbing, we're gonna take their arm down, and then we're gonna lift it up. So essentially, your opponent ends up in this like wing arm situation, and you have all of this exposed to show punching. Okay? Knowing the meaning of the movement can help our form. So we're always imagining that our opponent is our height, our size. So when we know the meaning, then we know where our arms should be. It's not an arbitrary thing. We know that we're warding off to connect out. So we know we have to be at this level. We know we're turning to show grabbing immediately. So we're not going to turn and show grabbing all the way out here. We want to keep it in front and then open up and come down. Okay? Does anyone have any questions?
So what direction are you punching in then?
Okay, so when we're doing the punching, I'm going to start from the back position. We step out and ward off. We're punching to the ribs. So we're coming in, and it's like a forward kind of direction, forward side. So the arms lifting up, punching to our opponent's ribs. So that's the height you want to think about. We don't want to be too low. We don't want to be too high.
It just made sense to me. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Michelle. Anyone else?
Yeah, did Marian. So when you put your arm up, how high do you think it should come? Is it like your face level? Your hand up?
In the ward off position?
In the final movement.
In the final movement. So the hand is about at my face level.
Okay.
It is.
Okay.
Maybe it's easier to see this. We don't want to be too high, but we want to make sure our elbow's sinking down.
Okay.
Right? So our fingertips are pointing straight up. So our hand is about at our face level. We're not too high, not too low. Almost like golden rooster on one leg.
But it's not but you
As
don't
we get
bend your arm as much, correct? Because yours looks like it has a bit of an open arm. I was doing it kind of like straight up,
Yep.
but it looks like my arm is bent more. I can't really tell, but is
Your
that,
arm's in a good position.
so that would be straight up for me. That's the correct angle?
Yep.
Okay.
That's the correct angle. Fingertips go straight up to the sky.
Okay.
So it's not too straight like a press. We're not really bent.
Right.
It's just up and elbow down.
Okay. Thank you.
It's lifting. You're welcome. Anyone else? All right, let's practice a couple more times. So we're gonna start at push. Natural stance. Arms pushing out. Move back the weight, flattening the arms. Show pulling with the left arm. Turning, fingertips come pointing together at the chest and pushing out to the side. Stepping out, ward off. Turn and grab as we adjust our stance and step. Left arm circles down, making a fist, lifting up and punching. So everyone check their empty stance. If you take your left foot and you drag it back, is there one line to side between your feet, or are we crossed? This footwork with the transition takes some getting used to. So let's just do the footwork one more time and check our footwork here. So we're in a bow stance, slightly less than corner. Move back the weight, turning the right foot as far as you can. Relax the left foot, show stepping out, transition here. So take a moment. Make sure you have one line to side between the feet. We don't want to step too wide here. One line to side, moving into what's kind of a bow stance before we pick up, stepping out parallel like a train track, move back, relax the left foot, step on the heel. Move that foot back, see if you have that one line to side again. How do we do with checking our footwork? Good. The footwork is the key. A lot of the times if we can build a solid base, then our upper body can be relaxed. So we want to feel heavy sinking into our legs and feel light on the top. So if we can get our footwork solid, that will then help us relax the upper body. So now let's add the arms into it. So stepping out naturally again. Remember, sinking down, stepping out. So every time we have a good start. Showing push. Move back the weight, flatten the arms, turning, showing pulling. Circle back, fingertips point together before pushing out to the side as we relax the left foot. Stepping out, showing ward off, turning for the grab, re-stepping, circle down while making a fist, circle up, and show punching. Checking here. Is our body open to the side direction a little bit? We don't want to be too square, causing the leg to come in. Open up, both knees are in line, shoulders relax, waist relax. We don't want to have a pinch in the back. Relax the waist. Feeling that leg burn a little, maybe wake up.
So we do, you said you don't want to be too square, so we want to have a little bit of an angle to protect our bodies from a punch.
Proper alignment, actually. Okay, so if I'm here, see how I'm open up to the side?
Yes.
Look what happens when I turn. Maybe you can see my legs too. If I turn.
Right.
Can you see how now my arms are closed off and hinged, my knee turned into the corner,
right.
But as soon as I open up to the side, now I have the space here, I've had the space here, and I have proper alignment here.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
So it comes down to, again, that footwork, right? So with our footwork, we always want our knees in line. So when we're in a bow stance, We don't want to turn too much, right? If we turning too much, our groin, as Master Yang would say, our crotch is now rounded enough. I've heard that many times and it just kind of burned into my head. But so we want to have this area open. So one thing you can do is just practice your stances. And you can move back and forth. And as we do this, keep your feet and your knees in line with your foot direction. So when we move back, we don't want our left knee to turn in. We don't want this knee to turn in as we move forward. Can you guys see that, what I'm talking about? So I'm moving back and they're in line, back and forth. The knees are in line, everything's open. But if I move back and my knee goes off, my knee can go off this way too. It takes some effort to open up that area. It's well worth it. So when we're doing all of these transition steps, say we're starting in our push and we move back. My left knee's in line, right knee's in line, turning everything together, hips turning, waist turning to the foot to the straight direction. We're gonna move back the weight, settle in, relax the foot. The hips are straight, knees are both still in line. Picking up, step out, moving into the bow stance. Check to make sure you're pushing with your knees in line here. Picking up, same thing. Knees are in line as I move and shift back and pick up and change. Everything's in line. This will help build a solid foundation for the rest of your form. Sometimes you'll see me outside just messing around from stance to stance because there's so many things that you can focus on. The dung and chung, the resistance that we were talking about last week between the legs, relaxing the waist, the head lifting up, all of these things can just be practiced through doing stance work. All right, let's do it one more time. Just fist under elbow. Natural stance, pushing out. Move back the weight, turning. Circle the arms like single whip till we push out to the side. Stepping out, show ward off. Turning the left palm, right arm not changing, just making a fist as we circle down. Pushing up and showing punching with the right arm. All right, let's see everyone do it. I'll do the arm movement, so if you feel new and you want to still watch, then you have that ability, okay? So from push, move back the weight, flatten the arms, circling, fingertips point to the center as we push out, showing ward off, re-step, show grabbing, open up, circle down, and show punching. Okay, good. Let's talk about the circling a little bit. So after we ward off, we're in the ward off position. Our right arm hasn't changed very much. It's just followed our body direction. Once we turn, we don't want to have a straight movement, okay? We don't want to have a little tiny circle. We really want to make sure that we show circling down and up. There's a definite circle down and up. Because this is where we've got our opponent's arm, and we're taking their arm, and we're bringing it down and then jacking it up in the air. So we have all of these open targets here. So we've connected to their punch. We turn and grab their wrist. We pull their arm down so that when we lift it, it goes into a chicken wing. So we want to make sure we show this circle here. That circle is very important for the meaning of the movement. Yes. Okay, those circles look great.
Cheryl,
Now, Yes.
Isn't the circle kind of like cloud hand circle or different or bigger than that?
So cloud hands, when we do cloud hands, our arm starts at center and then the whole body turns and rotates till we sit down. Here we do ward off and we rotate right away. So it's not a big movement for the grabbing. Does that make sense?
Right. And then the turning part.
So the turning down, it's a hinge movement. Okay, so if I'm here and I do cloud hands and we circle, this is a down with the arm. Here what we're doing is we've turned and grabbed and it's a circle down. So you know what brush knee feels like? That circling down, just like Embrace the Tiger, we circle, it's that gradual slope down. It's a similar feeling to that where it's a gradual slope down, but then there's a very specific circle at the bottom. So we've circled down and circle up. So show you ward off. Yes, that's it, Yali. So you grab and circle out and down to the side a little bit, and then circle the bottom and up. Yes. So it's a gradual thing. We don't want it to be a square movement. How well, we haven't gotten to it yet, but Golden Rooster on one leg, we flatten the arm, we come back and down. This is a circle. Circle down and up. So we're not straight. Circle down, and then here, really focus on that turn and lift up. The lifting is very important here. Fingers pointing up because we have our opponent's arm and we're lifting up here. That looks good.
Thank
Does
you.
that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else?
So
I got you, Amy.
hi. So that last movement of lifting the hand up and bringing the elbow under, do you kind of try to use the momentum together?
So
like
the right arm doesn't open.
I'm sorry.
All right, so the right arm doesn't open. So we've stepped and I'm turning and my right arm's out to the side. I'm gonna circle down and make a fist. So see, my right arm is in a fist position. My left hand's kind of down by my hip, and then together, lifting up, punching out.
So there's no extra, okay. So that movement's together, but not a sense of circling together. Okay.
Not circling. The right arm just goes from the position it was sitting in to making a fist and punching. The left arm makes a circle down and up.
So I guess I'm still feeling like I have a little circle just by maybe I'm wondering if I'm making my fist like not soon enough or moving my hand a little too far forward, because it feels like I've got a circle movement happening. Like as I reach to make my fist, then I
see it. You're coming down and you're coming down and up.
Scooping.
Okay.
I'm scooping my fist to punch up. So you don't do that. Okay.
So no, our arm kind of stays in space here in this area as we turn and step. And so see, my arm's kind of in this three-dimensional space here as I circle down.
Right.
And then it just comes in to show punching. Maybe it's a little downward movement, but we're not gonna come up, like go down to up. We're in that three-dimensional space here and we show punching.
I'm gonna have to work on that direction.
Okay, let's talk about our fists for a moment here. This is very important, especially for ladies, okay? When we're making a fist, we want to take our hand and we want to curl all four of our fingers in, and then the thumb comes over the top too. All right, we call this our fist eye. And a lot of the times our fist eye faces up to the sky. So when we're in parry, block, and punch end position, the fist eye is up. Here, the fist eye is facing up when we're in this end position. So we're not faced to the side towards your chest, we're facing up to the sky. So when we do this movement, after we've stepped out and we're in ward off, we turn and show grabbing. I make a fist, and immediately that fist is facing up. So that might help, Marion. Right away, the fist is facing up as I circle down. And then stepping out, lifting, and punching together.
Okay, that might help. Yeah. Oops. Okay, I didn't know if I was on or not. Okay, thank you.
You're
I have
welcome.
a question. Yeah, I have a question. When
Sure,
you're,
Marlene.
it seems like you're making a whole turnabout in direction. You're at the beginning, you're one way, and then you kind of make practically a circle, and you're facing the
Yes.
other direction. Oh, okay.
So there's a reason for that. This movement is made for two opponents. So we have one opponent over here where we do the big turn and we face this opponent, we push them away, but then there's somebody else coming from this direction. So we're gonna meet them and then show fist under elbow. So we start at this corner, we turn all the way around and come back to the side for our looking direction. But then we come back out to this corner and then we move to the straight direction. It's a lot of movement. It's similar to single whip in the beginning with that transition to the pushing out, but then we have a transition step that then brings us to the straight 9 o'clock direction. Does that make sense? Do you want to do the footwork, Marlene? We can do the footwork. That would help.
No, that's fine.
Let's just do the footwork.
Yes,
Okay.
do the footwork.
Then let's do the
Yes,
whole
please.
movement. Okay. So we're at the corner direction. So this would be 3, this would be 6, 4-ish, 5. So we're gonna move back the weight, turning our foot all the way to 12 o'clock. Move back to your right leg, relax your left foot so they're both facing to 12 o'clock here. Then we're gonna step out to the corner direction. Move the weight forward and re-step with the right leg both to that same corner direction before we relax the left foot to 9 o'clock and step into our heel stance. So we go from this corner all the way around to 9 o'clock. Okay, now let's do it with the arms. So stepping out into our natural bow stance, into push, move back the weight, show pulling, circling the body, circle back and push out with the palms. Stepping out, showing ward off, so grabbing while we re-step, circle, make a fist, lifting up, and showing punching. All right. Anyone have any questions? All right, let's do it maybe 1 or 2 more times from the beginning, from cross hands. Combining everything together, and then we'll close class. Shoulders width apart, sinking down, cross hands. Moving the weight, turning. Embrace the tiger, return to the mountain, stepping out, open up, and show striking. Roll back, turning. Small circle for press, and push. Fist under elbow. Move back the weight, turning. Big circle till we push out to the side. Stepping out, ward off. So grabbing, re-step, big circle, making a fist, lifting up, showing, punching. All right. How did that feel? We're making the connection of all the movements together, smooth, even, and continuous. All right, any questions before we do it one more time and close class? Okay, let's do it. Starting at cross hands. Right arms on the outside, sinking down, head lifting up. Move the weight to the right, turning. Separate the arms, 2 circles, stepping out. Embrace the tiger, return to the mountain. Roll back, connecting out, and turning. Press. And push. Fist under elbow, moving back, turning. Shifting back, relax the left foot, push out. Step, ward off. Show grabbing, re-step the right foot, circle down, making a fist, lift up and punch. And relax. Great work today, everyone. So Pierre has a practice on Friday at 11 o'clock if you'd like to review these movements. And then this Saturday, we are actually not going to be having our practices. They will resume next week. So Pierre would love to have you join him Friday at 11 o'clock, and he'll be going over fist under elbow and cross hands, embrace the tiger as well.
Yeah, Pierre would
So
love
thank you
to
for
have you
joining
join
me
him, but he
today.
can't make it. So if you do show up, you actually get Nancy Lauscher to take the class. So
Yeah.
there's
News to
there's
me,
a
so that's
reason to
great.
come and
Everyone
practice
join
on Friday.
Nancy.
Pierre's practice. And then for Saturday, Dee Dee and Judy will not be having class. However,
Right.
Michael will still be doing the Sabre class. So those of you that are signed up for Sabre will still have that class.
Yes.
And then Sundays are our normal practice. So we'll have that.
Plenty of opportunities to practice this week. All right, so join Nancy Friday at 11.
Yeah, sorry, Pierre.
All right, thank you everyone for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl. Great class.